Did we do it?
We did it.
Let's go!
We did it.
GG!
Oh my god. I got 2 kids now. I'm the solo income provider for the house, and it's a very, very busy house. My son was playing with my D&D miniatures and the coffee grinds. It's been life-changing. Like, how do I say this without sounding canned? Like, per MSQ video, there's usually about like 13 hours of footage in there to go through. We also have like folders and folders of like Ascian particular footage, Midfilia particular footage, Emperor particular footage, Xeno. Like, we divide this up a little bit, but there are a lot of hours that go into these videos. There's a stream, and then there's the streams on top of it. There's y'all. Only 2 stacks of echo.
It's been wild, dude. Yeah, the support for the channel, like for the videos and for the streams, I never saw coming, ever, and it has allowed me to have a more sane life.
All right, that's the end of the Thursday night stream. Hey, what time is it?
1 o'clock in the morning.
Thursday night streams.
Do you know who wants to eat?
That guy.
And there was 1 month in particular where there was a big jump, and it's when it was like our first full month of regularly streaming and regularly putting out videos. And when that payout came in, we were like, holy shit. Yeah, I didn't mean this to be like the big thank you, but it's a big thank you.
Oh, do stuff!
Yeah!
Do stuff, yeah!
Woo! Well, Kyle, congrats on a year.
1 year.
Had this channel a lot longer, so it's complicated.
The channel's changed a lot.
The channel has changed a lot. It's very specifically, congrats on like a year of Final Fantasy stuff, more or less unbroken. You know, we go check in on World of Warcraft every once in a while, but year of making Final Fantasy content on YouTube.
Yeah, you can kind of see, the evolution. It's very clear when you go to those old videos as we kind of look at the news. We talk like Star Wars and Halo. I keep poking you and poking you and poking you about Final Fantasy, making you make Final Fantasy videos with me.
Yep.
Without playing it. Sit down and talk about Final Fantasy without playing it, Garrett. Go.
Yep.
Like, we were doing these videos in the background. We were building the channel while Heroes of the Storm had unclear messaging from Blizzard Entertainment.
We had no messaging.
No new hero updates were slower and slower, but I was working in esports. I was doing the player interviews for the CCL, and then that season ended. And we basically threw the switch. All power to the grinding gear engine.
A lot of the power was already going there, but because like we've never regularly streamed together. We started doing that this year. We've never stuck to a YouTube regiment. We technically started that over a year ago.
On the side, you know, one morning, you and I decided, I was poking you a little bit. I was like, let's try YouTube streaming. Why not? We're already here. We got this channel. Let's see what happens.
You had mentioned it multiple times, and I was just like, dude, every time we stream, it takes a ton of time.
Streaming is time consuming. Yeah. Like, it's
extremely.
Just the nature of it.
Yeah, it's something I would love to, I would have loved to have done more of. Like back in the day, I always loved streaming with you. It was fun as shit. But we always came away with like $20 and we would split it. And it's like, cool, dude, now I got to stay up late working on contract work so I can, make rent next month. I think we had finished recording a video, right?
Yeah.
And you were like, well, before we leave, let's just turn it on. Let's just test YouTube streaming. Let's just test it. Let's see how it works. And you're like, I'll do it. And I'm like, fine. I don't have to put in extra effort. Sounds great. I'll play some Final Fantasy with you. We threw it. How many people do we have with that? We had no cameras because we didn't have an overlay set up.
Yep, we did dungeons. We just fired up some optional, I believe, a Realm Reborn dungeons we were at the moment. There we go. Oh, wait, no. I can do my swift. I did like that. That was like a pro. I rocked that.
And we had over 300 people watching, I think.
Yeah, close to 400. About 300 people live showing up,
which was insane because a good duo stream for us was like 70 people on Twitch.
Dude, I live streamed brand new content from BlizzCon to 250. Like that's what that brought in.
Yeah,
on the floor.
You're at BlizzCon invited, playing stuff people can't play yet.
Yes, 250. And to go to 300, 400 there with a cameraless stream, it was nuts. Like that was insane. That was a huge sign.
Yeah, a lot of our game plan changed after that. We're like, okay, we need streaming in the mix. And that's like, this is going to sound so corny, but that's the power of comments on YouTube. Like, you know, I feel like we're not the worst about comment below. I feel like we just say things that are wrong, and y'all are going to let us know let us know what's right. But there were a lot of comments for months on end when we started doing regular Final Fantasy videos saying, stream it. Why aren't you streaming? Eventually reaching to the point I'm summarizing here to, for the love of God, why aren't you streaming?
For streaming, I love the patch content. The patch content is so digestible. Like, we can say this whole patch this day, and beginning to end, it's just a boxed product, and that's really, really easy to do.
We get to, a lot of the streams have like a full arc to them, and I love that feeling.
The MSQ overall streams, I'd say they've gotten harder and harder to plan. Shout out to our MSQ curator, by the way, who sends me cryptic messages and quest names of where we can stop each stream. That might give a little bit of a at least complete story. And sometimes, you know, it gets a little Game of Thrones. It doesn't end when you want it to, because that's, hey, yeah, come back next time. That actually got a little harder with Shadowbringers, because Stormblood, and in particular Heavensward, had so many dungeons and so many trials. It was very easy to say, oh, that's a climactic moment. That's where we'll stop. Whereas Shadowbringers is just one more quest, like each one piles on top, and there's no good stopping point.
Oh, we can't. That's where we stop.
That's well, you know, it's a recommended
MS
stopping
curator,
point.
what have you done to me?
It's a recommended stopping point.
Oh, I like where we stopped. I know everyone's mad about the cliffhanger we recently stopped on. I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was a brilliant place to stop. Also, yeah. It was 1 a.m. for me. Let me sleep.
I'm not talking particular about that one, but it is a dramatic one that comes to mind.
I saw someone complain about it this morning in a comment. I'm like, let it go. Let it go.
Yep.
Let us sleep. Be nice to the MS curator. He's trying.
I mean, and some of that too is just like the content creation of it. Like our video log is full. We got to pop out a video. We got to use that footage before we go any further. We have probably set not the slowest pace of any streamer, but maybe the most purposefully slow pace, right? Like,
yes.
Lost Ark's not like taking our attention. We're not like being pulled over by this promotional thing, and we're not playing this for this deal or whatever that's going on, you know. But we set a pace for our content creation that is a bit different than I'm sure most people play through the game.
I would imagine so, yeah. Yeah, I would imagine so. But I really like it. And it was something that came out of streaming and just experiencing Final Fantasy XIV as you played through, because when we initially started playing it, I went into it with a World of Warcraft mindset. I'm like, okay, let's get to endgame. And then you realize, wait, no, that's the meat is in the narrative. That's where a lot of the excitement is. I mean, yeah, there's still plenty of endgame in Final Fantasy, and we've experienced old endgame because we've done every raid from every expansion that we've completed so far.
Oh, dude, that's nice.
That's sick as shit. That's the coolest shit I've seen in games so far. We didn't know what we were doing when we got started with the streams. We didn't know what they were going to look like. We knew some folks were interested in watching the stream, and then we realized, like, oh, like, A, it's just going to take a long time to get through the MSQ, but B, it's what everyone wants to see. It's a really popular aspect of the game, and so why rush it? Like, it'd be really hard to rush it, but B, like, we found out we like making those narrative breakdown videos.
Well, and originally we kind of avoided streaming the MSQ, partially because we were just playing separately. So that energy and opinions that would come together, particularly in those early parts where things aren't quite as scandalous, dramatic, cliffhangery, it lends itself to conversation about the characters and where Heavensward at that time was going. I think everyone just kind of they make their big feast video on A Realm Reborn, and that's like their first video covering the content.
Then mock her from hell!
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for!
Dear God, it's beautiful.
I got to have that organic lead-in experience to the game of just playing it by myself because it's what I wanted to do. And so when I walk in Ul'dah, like, it's not like, the sound of content creation. It's like, this is me at midnight. Like, this song. When I hear that part of the gold saucer that just starts slapping, like, bam, 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 when the drums come in, like, that's just me. That's just me chill. No one told me to enjoy that song. Nobody got in my head that was good. That was just a rockin', groovy song.
That's how I feel. That's why the Garuda theme is so important to me, because there was no pre-hype. I experienced it on my own, and I'm like, this song rules. Everything else so far is like, hey, everybody, get ready for the lahis. And so I get there, and I'm like, oh, okay. All right, I get it.
Well, and there is that homogenization, that in jokes that you're going to absorb doing the stream. You're resistant. You had a big hat to eat, though.
I was resistant.
You had to eat a hat, though. That's rough. That's rough stuff.
Well, for folks that didn't like weren't here at the very beginning, like I had already tried it once and immediately stopped playing it. I didn't like all the load screens, and I started in the Black Shroud, which now that we've experienced everything, the Black Shroud is the lamest zone in all of Final Fantasy XIV. That's my tea.
Yeah, it's also very abrasive. Like, I made a bard or an archer.
I made an archer.
Yeah, those quest givers were just mean and mad and angry, and there was a lot of reading. So the environment wasn't capturing me.
I also didn't read because I didn't know the story mattered. I wasn't prepared. No one warned me about all of this. I've gotten over it since, but when I first started it, I was just like, oh, it's green and brown and there's load screens. That's what I thought of when I thought of Final Fantasy XIV. I did have a really hot character, though.
Particularly, there's like a tavern in the middle of the desert that's just full of quests, and I did them all. Oh,
yeah, you wowed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, for me, I just big hand wave Heavensward. Heavensward, when I started I was just like, oh, Final Fantasy's got hands.
Yeah.
Well, although I guess in this case, Final Fantasy's got dragons. But I loved Iceheart and Estinian. I still think back to that campfire scene and the fact that I cared.
Yeah, Heavensward, the variety of content there is shocking. The variety of music, like Heavensward's still my favorite soundtracks. In fact, what got me to fire up the game again was hearing Locust. And I heard that and I was like, this is in the video game? I thought this was a fantasy game. I thought this was all gonna be, classic strings and pianos and very kind of Japanese sound in that way, like you would expect from, like a Dragon Quest. And then on top of that, I tuned into Asmongold's stream. He's playing Alexander. I'm like, how do these robots fit in? I thought this was the Dragon expansion. Why are we in a giant steampunk village fighting a castle man? So just curiosity, like just overwhelming curiosity.
And when you go through it all makes sense. Like, if anything, the only raid that didn't make sense to me was Ivalice, and that one's like the most like traditionally fantasy. It's like we've got an old castle. It's like a city more than a castle, but it's basically a castle.
Tower thing, yeah.
Yeah, and that one like lost me. I thought I was gonna love it, and I did. I love the settings, and I will do those raids. If anyone is like, hey, you want to run evil? I'm like, yes, run it without having to read all of the weird racist kid dialogue. Let's go. But the narrative like totally lost me. To me, Sky Pirates, I think Sky Pirates might have been like, I was like, yep, that I need to see everything this game has to show me at this point. It was like Sky Pirates. I loved Sky Pirates. And I remember going in and people being like, it's okay. What? It's wonderful. It's one of the best raids I've ever played. It's so good.
It's got fun characters. Like content-wise, the very, very crunchy story, but the Warring Triad really did it for me. It was this whole like exchange you can have with a video game. It's that prep work. Like I could sit down before raid night, 2 hours, enjoy a story by myself, eat some snacks, and then you just go straight to the boss. And you're there, and that's your night. And then when it's over, you say, all right, good job, everybody. Everyone enjoy their quests. We'll see you next week. We'll go to the next step. And that exchange and that storyline you can have, that complete little storyline you can have for a stream is very, very enjoyable.
It's so streamable. Like,
yeah,
it really plays to what I like doing with you. Like having, which is so funny because we come from a background of competitive games. But this is what I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to play WoW with you, and you just refuse. So I'll take WoW competitor instead, because it's fun to vibe. It's fun to feel relaxed and to push ourselves when we want to be pushed and not be pushed every single time we sit down to play the game. That's
an excellent point. Yeah, you really choose your content for the night.
I think it's a big reason I love MMOs so much. It's a vibe game when I want it to be, and it is a sweat box when I opt in.
I love getting to do our extremes. The game naturally propels you through the story. And even in your story-based dungeons and trials that you have throughout the MSQ, you're not really ever going to be challenged. There's no point in that content where you look at your bar and go, I'm probably doing things wrong, aren't I? Like, no, particularly like Alliance raids. There's so many people spamming about. You're not going to push yourself. But those extreme nights we have where I sit down and I try to figure out rotations, and I try to figure out what people's bars look like, and how I can improve my global cooldown clipping things. Like that satisfies my need to improve that I carry over from my StarCraft days, my Dota, my Heroes of the Storm days. And not to mention like Crystal Conflict, which I think is a very, very MOBA style gameplay with the individual pieces moving around, charging up an ability, unleashing that ability, smaller bars, simpler actions, but more about how you move on the battlefield, where you stand, how you pop your shield, that sort of stuff. I also I really like doing the Domain Restoration, mainly because nobody wants loot from old dungeons, so I'm just sitting on this huge pile of stuff to organize, but I love organizing my inventory. I love working on my bars and my HUD. That's the offline, if you will, side of the game that I really dig.
Every time you say you love working on your HUD, other than the grenade, which you have gotten endless praise for, I feel like you stir the pot, because everyone's like, Kyle, why does your HUD look so bad if you work on it so much? You poor thing. You catch so much flack for your HUD.
My HUD is an evolving process. And I think you'll notice, like, if you go through those extremes we've done, you'll see my HUD become more aware of debuffs or buffs that the enemies might have. And like, hey, I actually read, like, the Talon or the Fang in our Nidhogg extreme.
One of them.
Like, we're learning.
You didn't read the other one, which would have made you connect 2 points. But
that blue was on you, though. The blue was on you. It was on you to read that.
My toxic trait is I do not read buffs.
Okay. Yeah. And I'm the stream view, so I'm going to get the flack. That's why you save for science and you just stop attacking and contributing anyway so you can read stuff. See, that's what I've learned. That's what we're going to do on the initial pools is kind of save for science. We're all going to die horribly, but I'm going to get to read. Oh, man, you put so much work into that Jurassic Park one. I love it. Or you press the buttons.
Oh, yeah.
Ellie's pressing the buttons and the raptor comes through.
When the Who Gives a Shadowlands patch was dropping, and then Final Fantasy XIV was like, by the way, you can buy our game again.
Yeah. I really like that one.
I rotoscoped it. I went frame by frame. That probably took me 2 hours, and that gag's like 10 seconds.
It's a good gag.
I just was having fun, and I just really wanted to go for it.
So that'll be my answer for like the one that just surprised me. Like for the one I giggled the most making, it was the Yulmore one. With Vothri banging his fists and shaking the camera.
Oh, when we were in our fancy outfits.
Yeah,
with the
doing our drinks.
Yes. Oh shit, that one did make me laugh big time. Honestly, I think the one we just did is my favorite. The Lahi getting gradually louder.
That's a good one.
Huh? What?
What?
Huh?
When I want to go watch it after it's done, that's how I know it's a good one. I also loved going all the way back to it wasn't Alexander specifically. It was our MSQ vacation for the end of Heaven's Ward.
Yes, your green screen tour with the photos and the Chihuahua.
Where Bailey's in my sling And
Yeah.
we're going around. Oh, that one just made me that Katie was so stoked. Anytime I include the dogs in anything, Katie gets stoked. Like she kind of doesn't really pay attention to what we're doing. but anytime I point a camera at a dog, she's like, okay, so what video is this? What's it for? Can I watch it, please? She's thrilled that Zelda's become a de facto mascot for the channel.
Favorite thumbnail?
Oh.
Yeah, because we've had a lot of... I'm proud of this channel's thumbnails.
I am too. Like legitimately, I think my best thumbnail was 2 videos ago, the Fairy Good.
That one's good.
I think that is just legitimately the best thumbnail I've ever made, just on a technical aspect. Personal favorite might be Extremes in Final Fantasy, where we talk about Extreme Thordan and Extreme Tsukiyomi. Us doing like the fusion finger touch. That's just like a personal favorite.
Yeah.
We've been on fire lately, in my opinion. 2 before that, just the big WTF with the Sin Eater milk coming out of my eyes.
Yep.
There's a version of that with it coming out of my mouth that I cut because I'm pretty sure it would have gotten us demonetized. It was by design. I love that one. Like it just originally. Also, Kyle, you just look too sexy in the Shadowbringers thumbnail. Shadowbringers cinematic thumbnail. That one's just it's a little much. Oh, you know what? You know what the one I'm the most proud of, legit? From memes to screams. It was our Throwing Wide recap video.
Oh, yeah.
There is no thumbnail text I'm more proud of than From Memes to Screams. Because we went from Little Sun meme to All the Scions Might Be Dead, We Don't Know. In the same video. And I have never come up with a better headline to put on a thumbnail.
That was good. Same with the Almost a Shadowbringers one too. Like that, those ones they had the similar energy. What happens, I would say probably like 50% of the time is I do a bunch of mock-ups, little quick mock-ups to get the juices flowing.
Yeah, I like it when you because your brain does not work like mine. And you send some stuff that is legitimately terrible, but other times you have ones that are legitimately triumphant. And I'm like, I would have never thought of that composition, not in a million years. And then I take it and make it and put my little bow on it.
Right, do your artist thing, add your sparkle, as I like to call it. No, totally. I mean, it's a shotgun approach of random ideas. There's an alternative for the Shadowbringer cinematic I'm immensely proud of.
Is that the Step On Me one?
No, the Step On Me one did not make the cut, no matter where it went.
That's unfortunate. That one is God tier.
It's a sight. It's a sight for sure. But no, the one where I'm being blown away by the music, I'm very proud of that one. There was, of the ones that made the cut, I think Music Makes the Boss, the Final Fantasy Trials one where I'm on sax, probably my favorite.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. And then I aped that one for OST Intensifies a little bit later.
Yeah, the music.
Got to bust out my actual guitar. Is that a real saxophone?
It's a real saxophone. Yeah, it's right over here.
I did not know you had a saxophone.
Not well. I'm not going to build that up. No legend building here. I just like practicing.
Oh, you know what? Deep cut. All the way, well, actually, old cut. Going all the way back to, where was it here? The thumbnail is me pushing Iceheart and Estinian together. That's an old favorite of mine.
An oldie. Oh, yeah. The Heaven's Ward.
Also, we did not keep this going forward. Heaven's Ward, all of the Heaven's Ward MSQ videos has the eye of Nidhogg behind the text. And I thought that was so clever that all the MSQ videos had that. We didn't keep that going. We didn't do anything for Stormblood that all the Stormblood video thumbnails share, and we have nothing for Shadowbringers. Overall, I love it. I've never had such a good onboarding experience with the game before. I got to legitimately learn most of what I know about the game through our comments. Like, if I had a question, for the most part, everyone legitimately wanted to help and give an answer.
I think the coolest thing is just how active people are inside the game. And there's many things you can contribute that to, like things like housing, things that makes people feel like they're living inside the game, decorating, the glamour system and all the dyes that let you invest in your character in a number of exciting or sexy ways should you choose. The wealth of emotes that allow you to actually hang out in the game. All of the mounts being able to fly. Like, there are so many factors that might contribute to somebody wanting to be on screen, somebody wanting to participate on your stream. And of course, there's things like the gift giving, which is crazy and insane. I probably have so many pets that I don't actually deserve. I've got so many wonderful glams and dress up opportunities that I don't know where they came from. My Sweater of Light, the legendary outfit for Valgaunt, was the first gift I was ever given.
Very early on, I was trying to keep a list of everybody so I knew what came from where, and so I could thank. And I've legitimately been gifted too many things. I cannot keep track.
Yeah,
it is ridiculous. And I guess you can't give mounts anymore or something, but we got gifted a few store mounts. I love my cloud mount. I just call it my Flying Nimbus. I have no idea what it's actually called.
Yeah, my big fat cat. Going all the time. I love that cat.
Stupid fat cat. Your cat and your freaking Mogs take me out of the game more than anything. There's so many comments that are like, I really wish people would stop following them. It's really breaking their immersion. And I'm like, that's you know who's breaking my immersion? Kyle Ferguson. Kyle Ferguson is constantly breaking my immersion with his Ronald McDonald transmogs and his constantly meowing cat.
Okay, I don't dress up as a frog or a bunny for cutscenes. I leave the helmet off, like, you know, my face is functioning for the audience. But I do try to attempt to dress up for what we're doing that day, and oftentimes I'm horribly wrong because some dramatic thing's gonna happen. Now I'm standing there in a cowboy hat, so there's bumps along the road that can happen. But I love getting to do the transmogs, and I love everybody being so giving to my dress up and allowing me to have red mage outfits and all these sorts of things. There's lore to this, a little bit, a tiny bit. You see my pants, how they're frayed and my knees all messed up?
Yep.
Yeah, it's because I mess up my jump backwards all the time. that RP, like people participating on screen.
The Yulmore stream blew my fucking mind. It was nuts. Yes. All the way to like starting at the very beginning, the intro where you go into that bar with the rude lady and Alphino just shows up, which like completely blew. Which, by the way, everyone's like, what are some predictions that you were totally wrong about that you think are hilarious? I think we both were like, we're going to walk in on Alphino politicking his dick off. And instead, you walk into a bar and Alphino's just like, sup, friends?
Yep, sup.
Like,
I've been failing the whole time, and I'm okay with that because I've grown as a person.
Yeah, no freaking fanfare at all. Alphino's just there. And then when we got into Yulmore itself, like, obviously the bathhouse, like, yeah, okay, you bunch of thirsty bitches. But,
sure.
But oh my God, when we got to the beehive.
Well, that was a result of Amarang, right? Because we were doing this really serious questing, and we kind of asked people, you know, let's give us a little bit of space so we can kill the Sin Eater, so we can be, you know, next to Alizé during this tender, isolated moment leading up to Tesleen. And people embrace that immediately. Like even little stuff like the fireplace down there with the Blessed, or the load screens that we do for the stream. Like those don't really make it anywhere, but I do a little hide and seek. I go out in the world and try to find a little place, sometimes more obvious than others, depending. And everybody joining in and like posing and getting in the water or whatever we happen to be doing during that loadout. Like that speaks to my D&D brain so hard. I love that stuff. I love immersion. I love candles. I like candles when I play Diablo, you know, like you gotta be in the zone. And people participating in that on top, I mean, really all climaxes in the absolutely insane welcomes to the expansion that happen. Like people lining the roads.
Yeah, I got misty-eyed all the way back in Heaven's Ward, and they've only gotten bigger since then.
Yeah.
I mean, when we got to Shadowbringers, we hit the character cap. God knows how many times over. It's like everyone lined up to the ether crystal, but you couldn't see it.
No, yeah, it was over the limit.
It's like an N64 game with really short draw distance. As the line of people loaded in, like that was insane. But which that just brings me to like the grinding gear community. Like it's specific because like not everyone's in the FC or not everyone's in the Discord, but a lot of y'all show up in game. But like everyone in our Discord, everyone in our like memberships, like not, and this is not to promote memberships or Patreon or whatever, but it's a really tight-knit community, and y'all are like super kind and really thoughtful. Like the amount of The amount of like messages I get, like when one of us like takes a break, like for either for good reasons, like I'm going to Key West to like get away for a week and a half with Katie. Like I still get messages from people like, I'm really going to miss you, but I hope you have a good time. Like it's a legit community. Like, I don't know. It's easy to look at like, you know, the mean comments, but I try to remember the nice ones because stuff like that, like it means a lot to me. Like I was in one of those, like I grew up in a pretty hammy family where like you're supposed to be polite and you send thank you cards and shit like, and it feels like that. I get that feeling, that kind of that warm and fuzzy communal feeling from our community. And it's just, it doesn't go unnoticed, and it does legitimately help when shit gets rough, especially for me the last month here. I think for both of us. I mean, you had a kid, I'm graduating. I can't believe we've been able to, we missed 1 week. We missed 1 week of content.
It's not bad. Yeah. Not bad at all.
Yeah. And so the, like the little messages here and there, it means a lot.
For me, it might be highlighted by, I left for 3 weeks for the birth of my second kid, and it was nothing but support. Like back when I was doing competitive games, I got a lot of messages of, so what are you going to do now? Where's your real job? Guess you're quitting the scene. Wow. No, this was fully just like, go, get out of here, Kyle, go. It'll all be here when you get back. Can't wait for it. I'm sorry I have to wait, but good luck to you and congratulations.
I have to admit, I wasn't expecting an invitation back.
It was really heartfelt. And we get to do something that is so insane to me. So lucky. We get to have our community join us for our trialed content, our dungeons, our minimum eye level blind things. There could be no greater treat to me playing an MMO.
And you're all mostly patient.
Very, extremely. Also very skilled. You're all very good at this video game.
Every time
really
there's always a few messages like, do you want to hit? And the answer is always no, but I appreciate you asking.
Yeah, no, it's like, it is an immensely, like streamer privilege. It is an immensely privileged way to play this game. I cannot discount that. That is solving the puzzle of a minimum eye level boss and working through mechanics is something I love about tactical RPGs. And getting to do that inside an MMO, or just getting to take that moment when we walk into the cave and there's paintings on the wall, or walking through Doma Castle and we're like, oh shit, look at this. And getting to just like bask in that and really absorb the environments and take our time in something that's instanced is so insanely awesome. So thank you for being a part of that.
Yeah, I've been enjoying Dragonflight off stream, and my pickup dungeon experience has been awful. Absolutely awful. So shout out Final Fantasy community. I only get a speed puller maybe once every 4 runs as opposed to every run guaranteed in World of Warcraft. And usually it's just one person's like the whole everyone in WoW. It's just like go, 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 go. I'm like, oh my God, it's a brand new expansion.
It's just the culture. Yeah, just the culture.
Yeah.
I mean, MSQ-wise, I have no freaking idea where Shadowbringers is going. Are we doing a time jump? Is everybody dead? But then we bring them back, like we're gonna kill God. Like I am in for this ride, and that's just the end of the proper expansion. From a gameplay side, I'm interested to be current and see what the gear exchange is like for Final Fantasy. Like what getting geared up feels like, what I'm gonna be doing to improve my character, to try at that new content, that raid.
You and I have both talked about on stream before how I think we're both really interested to see gear matter for trial and raid content, because we haven't experienced that, because we're usually overgeared and then we min-eye level it to rein us back in. But I want to know what is the gameplay cycle like trying to get gear and also push current content. It's something I liked or used to like in World of Warcraft. I don't like it as much now with the way mythics and the Diabloification of gear works there. So I'm curious if it seems like there's a more kind of direct guaranteed route to go with Final Fantasy, which is something I prefer. And I'm kind of excited to get there and see if I'm right. I'm looking forward to the experience. And like we started this with a pretty hard contrast of this versus WoW, and I still enjoy that. I'm not looking for a winner. I'm enjoying watching the MMO landscape change and evolve.
Well said. Holy shit.
God disagrees.
Wow. Holy shit.
Crazy f***ing storming outside right now.
Damn.
And dude, I can't f***ing wait for FanFest.
That's gonna be fun. It's gonna be wild. We're making no promises to be all caught up on MSQ, come what may, for that event. That's gonna be.
We will figure it out. I will see a bunch of shit out of context and probably forget it and move on.
Yup, a dude in a room. A dude in a room. And people calling things mommy or something like that.
You know what I'm really excited for? To hang out with you.
Oh. Me too, man. It's been years.
Haven't seen you since 2019. 2018.
2018, yeah, BlizzCon
Wrong.
2018.
Yeah, you didn't go to BlizzCon 2019.
Yep, first kid.
Yeah.
Just but a month old or so. That'll be fun. I'm excited for it. It's going to be really fun to do the MSQ current along everybody. Like, feeling that excitement of the patch coming out. Really getting to craft something. Because right now it's very weekly around here. We'll have time. We'll have build-up time. We'll have some extra time on the back end because people aren't going to want to watch a video of something that just happened. Like if they haven't gotten to play it yet. So we get to breathe a little bit there. And of course, all the other fun content we like doing, like the Wall of Dungeons, that kind of stuff. Going through and at maybe, you know, taking smaller bites of certain wings of raids and riding that current content creation alongside Final Fantasy and the other content creators we've gotten to talk to and meet so far. Like getting to watch their whole videos. Getting to see the ending of Jesse Cox's videos.
I want to finish that Preach video.
I want to finish, yep, the Preach video. We got Pint videos. We got Joe Cat things we can't watch yet. There's way more.
Yeah, man. It feels weird putting a bow on this. You know, it's the end of the year, so we're gonna take a few weeks off on making videos and enjoy holiday with our family. But we'll be right back to it. We'll see you in a few weeks. MSQ's going nowhere. We're getting right back on it. But thanks for the last year, everybody. It means a lot to us. We are celebrating hitting 25,000 subscribers on the channel. Another 25,000 to go, Kyle, and we'll finally put together that wall of waifus that everybody wants us to do.
That's the dangle.
That's the 50,000.
Carrot on a stick. Well, husband those too. Like, you know, everyone's included. Stream just finished. All right, that's the end of the Thursday night stream. 5-hour stream, 1,500 people, which is pretty awesome. It's 10 p.m. at night. And the Thursday night streams wrap up pretty late. It's, check the microwave. It's 1:13. Oh, we made the dogs angry. Hi, everybody. And, there's leftover dinosaur nuggets out in the kitchen, so that's where I'm going.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. How you doing? How you doing?
Yep. Oh, great guard dogs. Thanks for watching.